See, go live. LinkedIn doesn't allow me to go live. That's fine, I think. Okay, we will have it recorded on YouTube anyway. So welcome.
Thanks.
Sorry for the small delay.
Yeah, sorry for that.
Today was don't worry, there was a lot of small problems. One of these is that my screen of my laptop is broken. So this is why I'm looking a bit farther on the right, because I had to connect another screen to use my laptop and my camera. So it's a bit strange now for me, but you would see me looking a bit on your left, I guess, and on my right, because I cannot use my screen. It's the whole part.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's always like the nice thing of life, you know.
Yeah.
Never is perfect, but we make things work in a way or another. So welcome. Thank you to be here. It's an honor and pleasure to have you here. So just to introduce you to our viewers, I would see. I was wondering just to see if I can stream on the thing, but yeah. Anyway, I will use it later. So you here, let me introduce you for our viewers that don't know maybe who you are. So Rogier Verberk is here with us, and he's representing TNO. You hold a PhD in experimental physics, right, from Leiden University, and you worked before at the beginning at TNO for the EUV lithography, and then you become project manager, and from 2013 you helped to set up QTech. It's just really important research facility that we have here in Delft about quantum technologies, and since 2016 you're a market director at TNO for the Department of Semiconductor Equipment and Quantum Technologies, and also Industry 4.0.
Correct. Yes.
Something else? Did I forget something?
A bit of medical technologies. Yeah.
Medical technologies.
Yeah.
Yes. Something else? It's really.
Oh, that's enough.
It's a long bio, so it can be complex to remember everything. And I would like to start with the first question that we do to everyone, or all of our guests.
Yeah.
So can you describe Falling Walls for you in 3 words?
In 3 words, it's about connections. And it's young and fresh and creativity. Oh, it's already more than 3, of course. Sorry for that. Yeah.
No worry, don't worry. It's allowed. Yeah. After 5, it's still allowed.
Okay, good.
So that's nice, because most of the time we find out that there are many things that people that know Falling Walls put together, like community and this young and all this feeling of something nice happening there that bind together the people. It's really nice, I think. So we found other people having your same feelings. So let's jump back to so your background. So you work at TNO and you did a lot of stuff. It sounds really interesting, and I would like to know if you can elaborate a bit more about this quantum technology and this QTech Research Center in Delft. It's really important, like spot, I think, for what it means, like the research that we are having here in Delft.
Yeah, it's a great piece of work here, and it goes back already 20 years when this university started with finding potential applications of quantum technologies. And of course, from Leiden University, I remember the theory, but really working to applications is a different story. And since 6 years now, University of Delft and TNO work together, and we have quite some interesting partners like Microsoft and Intel and Dutch companies as well, to really aim for practical applications. It's still quite a long way to go, of course, but it's amazing that we can bring really new opportunities to the society.
Yeah, I guess it's a really new, it's like cutting edge research field. So everything is really new about this. It's like we always hear this topic in the last 5 years, maybe, or something, maybe a bit more.
Yes.
And it's really like planned to change the life of people because of the big impact that it can have, right?
Potentially a huge impact, and we're already thinking about the impact, and at the same time, the colleagues still write papers about fundamental scientific discoveries and filing patents. So it's all at the same time. That makes it really exciting and rather complex, of course. But that's why we have a big team of 250 people already in this area. Yeah.
Oh, it's a big team indeed.
Yeah.
Let's because I'm all these new technologies. Sometimes people think that can be just research, but I think in general, TNO is also really active in the field of sustainability, and with many applications that we receive at Falling Worlds, they really align with this field of research, like to find something that can improve our society in terms of sustainability. But what are the projects that TNO work on in this field, or like in this direction?
Well, your sustainability indeed is one of the most important topics, and I think that this domain is one of the largest areas within TNO as well. We call the energy transition, and that varies from, let's say, the policy studies we do for governments to see how we come to a smarter grid and sustainable energies, and also more specific to redefine, for example, the chemical industry, make it use sustainable or green feedstock instead of oil, or electrify this industry. But it can also come from really other areas, like all the measurements we do on the atmosphere, like measuring the CO2 and the NOx. That is mostly done by instrument built here in Delft. The optical heart of such instruments on the satellites of NASA and ESA are built here together with our partners, of course, which gives the policymakers insight in what's really going on. So that's another way to contribute to such transitions.
That's like really interesting, because like recently I was facilitating a group of students working with ESA, and all the possibilities from these satellites and what the technology that they held inside, what they can do, can be used to improve and also to be aware of what's going on in terms of pollution, for example. And then these should link with then policymakers and people that can kind of decide what to do and how to act with this information. So I think it's pretty much important role that you have.
Especially in these days, you first have to bring some facts to the table before policymakers start shouting all kinds of ideas. Exactly. We try to bring scientific information to the table. Yeah.
Absolutely. Otherwise, it would be just like talking without doing anything, because you don't have facts that can back up what you say. And I think this is really valuable, because we are in a time where facts and not fact in general, like fantasies, mix a lot. So I think that's really important to bring up things that push the, science and scientific facts, let's say, to be part of this change in policies.
Yeah. And it's also about making some of these raw measuring data on the atmosphere available to the public via the partners like KNMI. People can access the data, so you don't have to only listen to the policymaker who interprets the data, but the data is really there. And I think that's also important these days. Yeah,
absolutely. Like participation. This is what we do here. Now it's like participation, having people like younger, like entrepreneurs, people that have different backgrounds and fields of research that can find this data, for example, have an idea of how to apply them
exactly.
In terms of sustainability, or like help our society to improve their conditions, and then like make this happen. I think it's really valuable. So I guess that all these elements, like for example, this open source, in this case, data, will be really valuable for society now and on in the future.
Yeah, and inspiring to the new people. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So this is also what we try to do, and we are lucky to have you as a jury member, and also the chair. You will be the chair of our jury members. So you will kind of guide also them into this direction. So it would be nice to see all the project that we will have presented and many of them will be in the field of sustainability. So maybe we'll find out something that also align with what TNO does. Who knows?
Yeah, who
See,
knows?
surprise. So that's really nice. And but I was thinking also, in general, we're living really crazy times. This Corona situation, but in general, crisis and economic crisis just come and go really often recently in recent years. And I know that TNO is doing something also to help the community and other companies facing the economic crisis. Can you explain a bit what TNO, like your departments, are doing in this field?
Sure. Yeah, what we often do is help to bring new innovations into new products or manufacturing environment. So just innovation is not good enough. You have to bring it, introduce it into the industry. And we do that, for example, in the semiconductor industry, which is my cup of tea. ASML is the most well-known in this area. We help them to bring new concepts to their tools and creating really strong, economically strong companies for the Netherlands or Europe, bringing a good export product and a good sustainable jobs for these areas. And at the same time, of course, the times changes. So we invest a lot in what we call Industry 4.0, which means that we help, especially the somewhat smaller companies, in being more productive and more efficient in their manufacturing, being smart in manufacturing, exchanging information while keeping control over your information.
So less in general waste of energy, materials,
Yeah,
and
and respond faster. For example, all kinds of technologies to make a company more resilient, and that they can switch faster from producing one product to a slightly different product because the market asks for it, without going over the whole education of all your people with all kinds of robots or cobots, we call it,
yeah.
cooperation robots.
Does
Uh,
this technology help also in terms of safety, for example, in the working environment?
Also, to some extent, yeah, especially because the people working in the factory and the robots getting closer together. It's no longer divided into two jobs. They work together on one product, and then all kinds of machine human interactions become way more important, of course, because of efficiency as well as safety. Yeah.
That's nice. I think it's pretty wide areas that TNO covers with all these projects that they do.
Yeah, we hope with a good technology base to serve many companies in different ways. We push certain technologies, but we also have to listen to what is needed, of course, and adapt to it.
Indeed. So like jumping back to and then also the connection with falling walls. I think that you do a lot of valuable work at TNO in this, but we want to also bring new innovation to falling walls, and maybe this can align with what TNO does. And you found us. I say we found each other while we were preparing this new edition, and we aligned a lot, thinking about how much Delft can be a place where innovation can spark and be more central in terms of innovation. And we were talking about community. This was a really like important point for both of us. And what I think, what you said also at the beginning to describe falling walls was community. If I want to like ask you something about this, what do you think about the falling walls community here in Delft or in Berlin? As I know that you know it also from there. So what's your opinion about this, and what can we do in general about this?
Well, I see already for a few years that we try to, let's say, develop more of a community here in Delft area, like you see in other cities around the world, but also in Eindhoven, for example, where people all really know how to find each other, from technology institutes and companies and all the others. And in Delft, it was a bit more segregated. We have great people, but they work in their own silo, in their own institute. And for example, let's such a cooperation like QTech, where the university and TNO work closely together. We create spin-off companies that stay close to us but are independent. And slowly we build this community. And I think there's great opportunity for Delft to build a stronger ecosystem. We have all the ingredients already, but falling walls and few other instruments could help to have a better connection between the groups and the people. And for example, in smart industry, you have this field labs, which is also a good example where companies and institutes work together on, for example, robot technology in one laboratory. So it's no longer that you have the science in the ivory tower and the applications in industry. No, you work together on one side, and that brings new ideas to the table, and it speeds up innovation. Yeah.
That's really valuable, I think. So in general, I hope that also our participants, now the application are closed, also our viewers will not be able to apply, or maybe next year if they didn't make this year. So to apply, you will find also, I cannot say partners for sure, but not only, but like support and help into developing something maybe that have common ground with what TNO does. And I think it's one of the most valuable things for us at Falling Walls. So like create this connection between all these young people with new ideas that can have an impact, break some walls, and connect them with people like you that are really enthusiastic about what you and us we can do to make this thing happen. So I think it's this community. It's what is really the most valuable element that we have at Falling Walls. Let's say before one last question, I want to like ask you something for our presenter. Do you have a tip or like one advice that you can give them for people that are about to pitch in next week? Do you have something in mind that you think can be a good tip from you? You're a jury member, so I thought maybe it could be nice to give them something.
Yeah, well, on the one side, I could say you have to cover a wide spectrum, of course. You have to tell something about technology. You have to bring something new. Otherwise, somebody else should have done it already. But you also have to think about the potential of implementation and some market value, so the commercial side. And on the other hand, don't be too professional in this. You just believe in your story. I think in the end, that's also what you hear for some investors. They really have to see that you believe in your story, and that makes the people enthusiastic about your story, and then people are willing to support you, because in the end you need your supporting environment anyway. So make them enthusiastic.
That's really nice. Actually, I strongly believe in this advice because it's the same one that I give to people that needs to pitch. Like the first thing is to believe in what you're presenting. Otherwise, people will understand it. People will know that you don't believe in it, and when you believe in it, it's like 10 times more powerful, your message. So I think it's really nice. So thank you very much. They will appreciate it. They are preparing the video now, so they will have really like good opportunity to think about it and try to make it work. And as a last question that I think we do to all our interviewees, what is your opinion about the importance of scientific communication?
Well, we've mentioned already that it is important, especially these days, to bring facts to the table, where people already have so many opinions and views, and they lose sight of the facts. And the other side, of course, I also used to work in fundamental science, and that's also just inspirational. You have to communicate what you're working on. Otherwise, first of all, people wouldn't know. And second of all, they could not be inspired by maybe some, like the ambitions of Falling Walls Lab, make connections between a scientific experiment on this side and somebody with an application challenge on the other side. Sharing information is the only way to increase the chance that we work on smart combinations and can implement new technologies. Definitely. Well, it's not only about technologies, that's my field, it's also about on the other areas. Behavioral sciences, it probably works the same way. Sure, but that's not my cup of tea. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you're talking from your side. That's
Yeah, of
not
course. Yeah.
it's completely understandable. So, but I think in general, these thoughts work also on the other fields in general. Like it's important to communicate what you do and your field to people that are outside your field of expertise in general. So this is why I guess science most of the time, or like technology and scientific topics, are the most difficult, because sometimes it's goes so deep and so complex that like it's difficult sometimes to explain it to other people, and then you lose then the opportunity for them to understand some facts and some stuff that is important to know, to judge, or like to do something valuable. So I agree with you, and we already did say that in this time more than ever it's important to have like a good communication about science and facts. So I guess we are on the same page on this, definitely.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you very much. We were brief that this is our format. We try to be condensed enough to make everyone join our little talks we have here, even if big topics, but quick talk.
Yeah.
And I would like to thank you very much for your time. It was nice to talk to you. And also I want to thank TNO and you especially for all the support you gave us, because it was really important to feel the support, especially during this time of change, because we had the plan before and then everything changed suddenly because of Corona. So it was really nice to still have the support from you and TNO. All of us from the board really appreciate this. And I would like also to thank our viewers that most of them will see this uploaded, so they are saying this not live streaming. And I want to remember that we have 18 people, 18 participants confirmed. They're sending us their video. They will be there. You can connect with them, know their ideas, and also ask questions, understand what they're doing, be inspired by them. And there will be prizes and also a news and a special prize that we haven't announced yet, and we will not announce it, but we will say it directly the day of the event. So there will be something more that our applicants will be able to achieve. And we will wait for all our audience applicants, and you remember the 23rd of September. So we look forward for everyone, our participants, and all the people that will connect with us. Hope you to stay tuned. Link are all around in our bio for our platform and stuff. And I think for today, that's it. Again, thank you very much, Rogier.
My pleasure. Yeah.
Have a nice day, and thank you to all our viewers. Bye.
See you soon.
See you soon. See you on Wednesday.